What is up, everybody? The microphone wasn't on right there, but today is Friday, June 11th, 2021. We got a lot of stuff to cover. First of all, AMC and GameStop are both in the green this morning, just a little bit. They're both at about 5% in the green, so not much, but a little bit. We've seen them consolidate over the last couple of days, so that is... that's been what has been going on recently. We had some news come out yesterday with more short insiders selling positions in AMC. So today we're first going to start off by talking about AMC bouncing back a bit. We're going to go over the credit rating increase, short interest, and insider selling. After that, I want to go over Tesla Model S Plaid delivery event, the highlights from it from yesterday evening. We went live at like midnight Eastern time. After that, we're going to cover El Salvador, what's going on there. They found a unique solution to what is going on with Bitcoin energy consumption. Moving on, we're going to go over a surprising announcement from the Reddit co-founder and Dogecoin. At the end, we're going to go over stimulus checks, and that's going to bring us to the market open at 9:30 a.m., where we will be talking more about AMC and GameStop. We're going to cover those 5 stories first, and then after that, we're going to continue to go on, look at a couple of the charts, what's going on with GameStop, AMC as the market is open. So right now we are seeing AMC stock at right about, let's get this. AMC stock is sitting right at $44 per share pre-market. We're up about 4.5%, so that is good news. The big news overnight, over the last 24 hours for AMC, for GameStop, is many analysts are saying that they think retail investors are starting to get a little tired of waiting for these companies, for AMC, for GameStop, for meme stocks, to make major moves and tell us what the strategy is moving forward. They're saying that, you know what, retail investors are simply just getting tired. They don't want to be in these plays anymore. And that's true for some parts, but not for the people who have been in the AMC play for a while. We are not seeing that. However, on the other hand, what we did hear last night was that AMC board members cashed in about $4.8 million worth of shares, and people were getting worried about this. We talked about this in a video last night, saying how a lot of people were asking, this is a bad thing, this isn't good. In reality, this doesn't affect anything. AMC board members dumping $4.8 million profit last week really is nothing. When you look at last 2 weeks, insiders have sold about $13 million worth of shares. In reality, that adds up to such a small portion of how much money they actually get paid in stock compensation, how much these insiders actually have. So for people who are saying this is a big deal, reality, $13 million divided among, let's say, 10 or so board members, directors, executives, $13 million among 10 people at the company is really not a lot, considering that they get paid in stock compensation. This is a very small portion of their positions. We know this based on how much insiders hold right now. So people who are saying this is a bad thing, nothing really to worry about here. In addition to this, last night, why we're seeing AMC up this morning is that AMC got a credit upgrade. So the S&P boosted AMC's rating from CCC plus from CCC minus. It's a 2-notch upgrade, even though it still is considered junk territory. It's still considered like a junk rating. Still is much better. Essentially, why they upgraded it was because they said, look, AMC has been able to raise billions of dollars, about over $1 billion over the last couple months, puts them in a much better position to pay down their debt, to make some improvements in the theater, innovate, and potentially even reinvent their business moving forward. So they said all of these things have been positive news for AMC. This extra capital is going to give them much more flexibility moving forward. It's just something that is puts them in a better position long term. Is it going to help short term? Who knows? But long term, them raising more money, them getting this credit upgrading has been a good sign. We also saw a similar thing happen with GameStop a couple months ago. After they raised over $500 million by selling equity, we did see them get a credit upgrade as well. So this is something pretty common that we have been seeing with these meme stocks, AMC, GameStop, and we'll probably see it with a couple of others as well, because If they're able to raise more money, it just puts them in a better position. Right now, AMC short interest is at 22%, so it still is fairly high. And you got to remember, this short interest is most likely even higher than what's being reported. We went over this in yesterday's video, how right now the numbers are just not adding up. What we're getting reported by exchanges, what is the short interest, is most likely a lot lower than the true short interest at the moment. So just something to keep in mind. Good morning, Shane. Good morning, Michael. Thank you guys for commenting. See your guys' comments. Next story I do want to go over, though, is with Tesla. So Tesla had their major delivery event last night. We watched it live on the channel, and this was the Tesla Model S Plaid delivery event. It was very exciting. We knew a lot of the stuff that was going to be talked about, a lot of the stuff that was going to be announced at this event, but still we had a couple of major announcements that were pretty surprising and very exciting. So they said that they are officially starting to deliver the Model S Plaids. They're going to start with the first 25 cars now, and they said they're going to slowly scale that up. They should be at several hundred cars per week and thousands of cars per week by next quarter. So they're scaling this up pretty quickly, starting off with only 25 per week, but they're going to scale that up to hundreds and then thousands very soon. Elon Musk, during this presentation, he was a bit awkward, just like his normal self. It was a bit awkward. They should have had someone up there to help him probably present it. At the beginning of the presentation, he started by driving on the Model S Plaid onto the stage. And what it seemed like is whenever something popped on the screen, a new feature, something about the Model S Plaid, it seemed like he just said whatever came to mind. It didn't really seem too prepared, but either way, investors seemed to really enjoy the presentation, really like what was going on. And that is something that was pretty exciting. In addition to this, a couple of features is that they say it's going to accelerate 0 to 60 less than 2 seconds. We knew this. They said the range is going to be around 390 miles per charge, 1,020 horsepower, and top speed of about 200 miles per hour. So all of those things we already knew. In addition to this, they said that fast charging. They've implemented much faster charging. 187 miles of range can be charged in just 15 minutes. This is really important. This is something that I was looking forward to, continuing to see them make upgrades with fast charging, because one thing that's annoying about Teslas is, especially if you're driving longer distances, is that you have to charge in between. You have to charge in between every single time. Like every time you need a charge, it could take hours. It could take like an hour to charge your vehicle. Or, even if you have to wait 30 minutes, it's annoying, because if you go to a gas station and you have just a regular car, it takes a couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes. You fill up your tank, then you're all good to go on, let's say, a road trip, or even if you're going somewhere. Tesla, on the other hand, if you run out of battery, you have to sit and wait. Even though they do have faster charging, they've been working on improving this. It does take a while. So they still said now 15 minutes, you can get 187 miles of range. Much better than it used to be, but still they do have a little ways to go. Either way, the interior and the infotainment systems, pretty much what we expected. There's a 17-inch touchscreen in the middle, 8-inch display for rear passengers, a bunch of charging ports in the front and the rear. And they said that the systems, the core systems for the entertainment systems, are much like the PlayStation 5. Very advanced, big step up in terms of capabilities and what they can do. Moving on, crypto. Crypto this morning is down a little bit, down 2.4%. And the big story this morning is actually with El Salvador. So right now, this morning, El Salvador president, he came out and said that he plans to mine Bitcoin using volcanoes. And this was something that is a new approach, something no one else is really doing, but is 100% clean energy. And previously, the main concern has been about sustainability around Bitcoin mining. A lot of people, a lot of countries have been concerned about this. We've seen Tesla say, you know what, they're not going to accept Bitcoin at the moment because of the issues with sustainability around Bitcoin mining. We've seen China taking measures to crack down on Bitcoin mining. So with El Salvador, they became a first official country ever to offer allow Bitcoin as legal tender. Now they're making major moves into the direction, really pushing hard into Bitcoin. They're saying, look, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to start by looking into solutions for Bitcoin mining, getting this rolled out, helping more people in the country actually have access to Bitcoin and making it more sustainable long term. So in a tweet, the president of El Salvador came out and said that he just instructed Lagio, which is the country's, I believe, state-owned geothermal electric company. He reached out to them and he said they're putting their plan in place to offer facilities for Bitcoin mining with very cheap, 100% clean, 100% renewable, zero emissions energy from their volcanoes. They said this is evolving very quickly. They're making major moves in crypto, and they believe that this could be a solution that can make El Salvador potentially even a Bitcoin mining hub in many aspects around the world, which could be huge for them down the road. Very exciting stuff, very exciting. He said that the engineers informed him that they already dug a new well. It's going to provide 95 megawatts of 100% clean, zero emission geothermal energy from volcanoes. They said they're starting to design a full Bitcoin mining hub around it. They're trying to get more integrated, make this a major portion of the business down the road. This morning, though, there's a lot of people still not happy with the announcement from El Salvador that they are allowing and passed the law to make Bitcoin legal tender. IMF says that they see a lot of legal and economic issues with El Salvador's move with Bitcoin. And we also saw the BIS, the Bank, the Bank of International Settlements. Yeah, Bank of International Settlements. They also were not too happy with the announcement from El Salvador as well. Both of them are saying that there's a lot of risks associated with making Bitcoin legal tender. Bitcoin is very volatile. It might promote illicit activities and some sort of other illegal activities because it's much harder to trace what's going on in the economy when Bitcoin is the main form, is like the main currency. So we'll see what happens there. But a lot of people aren't happy. A lot of institutions, banks, are not so happy with what El Salvador is doing, but they are pushing hard into this. They are making major moves, not only in being the first country ever to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, but also making major moves to sort of become a Bitcoin mining hub. Moving on, I don't know if you guys saw, but Dogecoin, the price has been relatively stable. We have seen this over the last couple of days. The price has really just been staying between 30, 35 cents, 30 and 40 cents per coin. But we had a big announcement come out earlier, which was actually pretty exciting, pretty interesting. And that is that the Reddit co-founder actually came out and said that most of his crypto holdings are in Ethereum, not Dogecoin. And you may be wondering, well, why is this important? Why does it matter that he doesn't own Dogecoin? Well, the interview was actually pretty funny because Alexis, who is the co-founder of Reddit, revealed that he has a good amount of Ethereum in his crypto holdings. He says that's where a lot of his holdings are. He didn't say exactly how much, but he says he does think Ethereum has at least has a lot to prove, a lot going for it between decentralized finance applications, NFTs, smart contracts, and there's a lot of interesting applications going on with Ethereum. So that's why he owns a lot of Ethereum. But the interesting part with this and why it relates to Dogecoin is that while he didn't hold back on talking about Ethereum, saying how great it is, how he loves smart contracts, NFTs, he said essentially that he's not going to plug Dogecoin. This is an interview on CNBC. He says, I'm not going to plug Dogecoin here. When they asked him what was an interesting crypto that needs more recognition. But by doing that alone, he was plugging Dogecoin. He was pushing for Dogecoin because even though he says, I don't want to plug Dogecoin, he spoke about it, he talked about it. So I found that pretty funny. It's like if you don't want to talk about something, you don't want to give something credit, don't talk about it at all. So he did talk about it, so he did give it some credit. He said that he doesn't own any Dogecoin. It's not on his preferred list of cryptos. He didn't want to give it any credit, but he still did talk about it and did mention it, which I found pretty funny. In addition to this, we did see Vitalik Buterin the other day come out and talk about Dogecoin. He is the co-founder of Ethereum, and he had said that surprisingly, some people have heard of Dogecoin and never even heard of Ethereum, something he was never predicting would happen. But he says there is some potential for Dogecoin long term, can scale up, can become more efficient. All we need to do is make a couple of changes, potentially could have a partnership with the Ethereum, be integrated on their blockchain, and that could be a solution down the road. Also, we saw that Vitalik has owned Dogecoin for over 5 years. He has been one of the early investors in Dogecoin. He turned a $25,000 investment into $25 million. So that was exciting, but two big announcements. The first was with the co-founder of Reddit, talked about his crypto holdings, how he owns Ethereum, not so much Dogecoin. He said he didn't want to give Dogecoin any credit, yet he still did talk about it. So that was pretty funny. And then also Vitalik Buterin, who actually has owned Dogecoin for a long time, and he seems a little bit bitter about that Dogecoin has more recognition for some people. Some people know of Dogecoin and not Ethereum. You know, he's said that a couple of times already. And last up, before we do get into the market open, and that is that the IRS is sending out millions more additional stimulus checks. Within the last 48 hours, the IRS said that it's continuing to distribute federal stimulus checks to eligible Americans. They said they paid out another 2.3 million stimulus checks within the last 48 hours. Some of these were plus-up payments, so those are payments where you may have made less money in 2020 than you did in 2019. And for that reason, you deserve to get more money for your stimulus check. So those are the plus-up payments. But other people, it is just the entire $1,400 stimulus check. According to the most recent bill that was passed for stimulus back in March, people were going to receive $1,400 stimulus checks, both children, eligible adults, and children. And the IRS said within the last 48 hours, they've delivered 169 million payments worth about $395 billion. But they still are sending out millions more every single week. They sent out 2.3 million payments within the last 48 hours, and that's because the IRS has been prioritizing sending checks to people who already filed their 2019 and 2020 tax returns. So they were saying, look, you know, it's taking a while to get these stimulus checks out. But the reason for this is it's based on just a priority list. Depending on when you filed your tax return, depending on your income bracket, that'll depend on when you got those stimulus checks. So even though many people have already received them, they said that they are still working on sending these out. So if you have not already received your third stimulus check, they said not to worry, still will be sending out. Possibility of a fourth stimulus check, though, you know, there are some people still talking about it. A lot of Democratic lawmakers are signing off letters to Joe Biden, pushing and urging him to pass more stimulus checks, but we won't know anything about that until a bill would be passed. And right now, it's only talks about a fourth stimulus check. Nothing is official. Nothing is even written down. They are only talking and pushing for it. So that's what's going on this morning. Couple of the major stories, but now let's get into the market open. So right now we got about 12 minutes until the market opens, and AMC's price is sitting right at $44.74. Here's the chart right here. We got a lot going on, though. The main stories over the last 24 hours, which I showed you guys, which we talked about, were how AMC, they had the two stories. The one was with insider selling. The other was with the credit upgrade. But good morning, everyone. See Aaron, Mason from Boston, Jonathan. What is up, guys? Aaron. If you are new here, please be sure to like the stream. Helps me out a lot. Good morning, Abraham. Virgin Galactic Space Crew test flight date. We'll check that out. But right now we're seeing the volume pretty low this morning for AMC, lower than we've seen over the last couple days. It's only around 2.5 million shares as of pre-market, with 11 minutes until the market open. Aaron, yes, very true. Don't buy so much. You have to sell and win, but buy what you can afford to lose and hold the line. True. Done, liked. Thank you. Annas. Good morning. AMC, the volume this morning is much lower than it's been the last couple of days. Volume the last couple of days has been much higher. We've seen a couple people talking about AMC less than they were previously. I'm going to pull up an article. Right now on Wall Street Bets on Google Trends, AMC is not getting as much attention as it was before. Let me pull up Wall Street Bets. If we could get this to 1,000 likes, I will stay on much longer today. We'll go live the entire day talking about everything going on with Dogecoin, with AMC, and GameStop. If we could get this to 1,000 likes, we'll go all the way through the end of the market, 4 p.m. if we could get this to 1,000 likes. So if you guys want that, then just make sure to like the video. Big news, a little surprising actually. This is surprising to me. Right now, if we're looking at the mentions on, this shows how many mentions there were on Wall Street Bets on Wall Street Bets about different stocks. We're seeing AMC is number 1 right now. AMC has the number 1 position and had fallen to number 6 in terms of number of mentions, 1,330 mentions. Number 2 is Wish, number 3 CLF, number 4 GME, number 5 is Workhorse. So we are seeing the total number of mentions actually go up for AMC, even though, so the total number of mentions is down, but it is back to being the number 1 talked about stock on Wall Street Bets. So that is pretty exciting. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, we see AMC back in that number 1 position. Let's take a look at Google Trends. Google Trends AMC. Not in the top 10 like it used to be on just everything. AMC though, okay, we are still, let's look over the last 30 days. Okay, you can see it has tapered off a bit. This doesn't really directly affect the price, but what it does, like what I do when I look at this is I'm like, look, okay, back on June 3rd, that was when people were talking about AMC the most. That's when it was getting the most media attention, the most searches on Google. Now it's come back a bit. Like, this doesn't necessarily affect the stock price, but usually it correlates to it. So we'll see that, look, let's make sure it's worldwide. But it's like, look, most of the time what we'll see is when it's talked about the most, a particular stock, that's when we're seeing the stock price the highest. When we see it talked about the least, that's when the stock price is the lowest, especially for these short squeeze stocks. We have 7 minutes till market opens. If you guys do want us to continue live for the entire day today, we'll do an entire day live stream. If we can get this to 1,000 likes, we'll stay on, talk about Dogecoin, AMC, and GameStop the entire day. Any news story that comes out, we will go over in real time. I just would have to go and walk my dog at some point, but we'll go live the whole day if we can get this up to 1,000 likes. Our videos get 1,000 likes. Live streams get nothing. Live streams get nothing. But right now we are seeing, okay, 7 minutes till market opens. We're holding right around that $44 per share range, up about 3% pre-market. If we're looking pre-market, really all of the meme stocks are up just a tad. They are holding strong. We're seeing clean energy fuels stock up 0.6%, Cleveland Cliffs up 2%, Virgin Galactic 0.71%, Wish 1% up, BlackBerry, everything's in the green. Everything's in the green, but just barely. Just barely. Jonathan Diaz, test flight dates. I'll have to look at that with Virgin Galactic. But right now we have 6 minutes till market opens. Volume is relatively low for the day. Like I showed you top right of the screen, you'll see 2.51 million. Countdown just came on the screen. 4 minutes, 55 seconds till market opens. Pretty tired from last night. We were live at like midnight talking about We were live until like, I don't even know, maybe 1 a.m. We were live maybe till 1, talking about Tesla Model S Plaid delivery event. Nothing crazy happened there. But yeah, so we are seeing right now AMC. Hopefully we see it rise into pre-market. We are up 3% for pre-market, but it would be good news if we can actually see it close, if it could open up in the green with a nice, push upwards, maybe even towards that $50 per share range. The problem is we're just not seeing a lot of volume. If you guys are new here, please be sure to like the stream, comment something down below. Helps get these out to more people, and if we do get it to 1,000 likes, we will stay on live for a while. If you guys don't already follow me on Patreon, not Patreon. This isn't paid. If you want to follow me on public.com, see exactly what stocks I'm buying and selling. Completely free to see what I'm buying and selling. Completely free to download the app. So check that out if you guys do want it. Use the code Michael, and you'll get like up to $50 in a free stock. Let's take a look at GameStop. GameStop this morning, where is it on our list? There it is. 2% in the green. Again, volume is very low. Very low. Across the board, we are seeing volume just stay pretty low for AMC, GameStop, Workhorse, BlackBerry. All across the board, volume is relatively low. Opinions on ICP. Do I think an option on AMC is 618? Do you think it'll hit over 75? So like the only way we'll see the major push upwards is we need to see that volume increase. We need to see more people talking about it. We looked at the Google Trends. We looked at a couple of different, not charts, but data of how much people are actually talking about AMC. The problem is right now we're seeing volume very low. And we're seeing people not talk about it as much on Reddit, on just regular Google searches, YouTube searches as well. We're seeing these numbers go down. Not to say that we can't see the short squeeze happen, because the short interest is still very high. But the only way we will see a push up towards that 72, reach a record high, is if we see more people talking about it. We continue to see a push from retail investors and people not just give up on it. 2 minutes until market opens. We are seeing a push upwards here. Yes, sir, Aaron. That would help out a lot. Crazy. This channel gets like no one watching for the live streams, but on my other channel, I started a new channel that's not even, it's called like Cryptech, has 5,000 subscribers, and we get more people live than this. The problem is this morning I looked at the analytics, this video, they didn't notify anyone about it, but that doesn't really matter. We're going to go live either way. 1 minute till market opens. Volume's at 2.6 million. We're going to see probably a massive inflow right as the market opens, but we'll have to wait and see. We've been consolidating over the last couple of days. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. So it looks like we do have we are developing a pretty strong support at $40. We've touched it quite a few times, like $41 per share. Let's get rid of these. Get rid of these drawings. Delete all. Looks like we're starting to form. Yeah, I know, Clayton. They don't notify anyone. So that's why. Then after the fact, everyone's like, yo, what happened? I didn't get notified. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. 10 seconds to market opens. Good morning, Clayton. Unreal Cow 666. What is up? Market just opened. We're seeing a push upwards. Green candlestick. All across the board, these meme stocks are all in the green. Look at this. Look on the left side of the screen. Every single one is in the green. Not by much, but we are in the green today. And look at this major move up. Major move. We went from 42 all the way up to 45, up almost 8% instantly this first candlestick. First chart. Good morning, Clayton. SYN stock VR. I wasn't notified. I just knew you were live. Thank you, Shane. Thank you. Yeah, the problem is also YouTube only puts out notifications for 3 videos a day, and yesterday I posted like 7, so they only notify for 3 videos every 24 hours. Doge. Yep. We did talk about Doge for a minute there. We are seeing, though, big moves right now for all across the board. GameStop, AMC, we're seeing, well, AMC is moving upwards. GameStop is selling off in the morning. But for the most part, we're seeing all these in the green. Like, all of these on the right are the meme stocks, except for STEM Inc. And we are seeing a push upwards by all of them. Good morning, Rashid. So we broke above 45. That's a good sign. True, Aaron. AMC's playing with your feelings, man. What are we seeing? Pretty quiet though morning. Like, we are seeing this move upwards, which was about a 6% move upwards. But if we're looking across the board, everything is up. Nothing is up more than 10%. We're not seeing any crazy moves today. And that's just because of the volume. Like, the volume right now is running around 10 million for AMC, which is low. Like, even though we are only 2 minutes into trading, it is pretty low. Let's look at the volume for GameStop. Volume is 1 million. Okay, that's not bad for GameStop. That's not terrible. Short interest, though, is still pretty high. AMC is 22% short interest. It's actually gone up. Gone up over the last couple of days. It was as low as 18, but hasn't dropped below 18, 17, 18. Weeble. Let me put this out for you guys. So what are we seeing right now? You think the weekend's going to be a bloodbath? Like, when we open on Monday, it's going to open up in the red? That's what you're saying? I bet they got a hold of the board from AMC and they are getting paid to sell their shares. Like, honestly, though, them selling their shares really doesn't matter. Like, we haven't seen the CEO sell any of his shares, and all the other people who are on the board and directors, like, who cares if they sell off $10 million? Who cares? That's barely anything. Like, everyone's getting worried about that, but they sold off $13 million total in the last couple of days. And if you're looking at insiders, that's not a lot of money at all. That's barely anything. And that's split between 10 people, $13 million. Not a lot. It doesn't really matter. Really doesn't really matter. My opinion, at least. Like, let them sell it. Who cares? $4.8 million were sold the other day from insiders. Really doesn't mean much. I don't care at all. Yeah, Aaron, there's only a few million. Like, it doesn't really, like, $13 million seems like a lot of money, and it is. But when you're talking about people who get paid in like a lot of their stock compensation, they get like paid when stock compensation packages. VR, I just got a notification that VKTX is up 10%, 12% this morning, up to $6.22. So I'm looking at right now. Lower level executives. Yeah, a lot of them aren't even like, they're the CFO sold a while back some shares, but no one else high up has sold. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're taking some profits. Let's put this at 1 minute chart. We're still in the green for the day for AMC, 2.8%. We've just been seeing it consolidate over the last couple days. GameStop's basically the same thing, up 3%. NOK, you want me to look at NOK? Let's look at NOK. Nokia, very little volume on this today. Very little. It's because right now we're seeing so many meme stocks out there that the money is not just going into AMC or GameStop anymore. It's going into AMC, Wish, BlackBerry, Bed Bath & Beyond, GameStop, Workhorse. Like, there's so many meme stocks that people are trying to see which one's going to pop next, that all the money now is really being split up. Like, the other day we had 700 million for the volume for AMC. There's no way we're even coming close to that today. ADA to the moon? Yeah, I like ADA. I don't know if there hasn't been any big announcements come out recently. Other big news this morning was with Chewy. Chewy did have some, they came out with their earnings, I believe, pre-market today. Let me take a look at this. Chewy stock. Yeah, we saw Chewy this morning. Came out. Let's look at this real quick. Snowflake, they set a target of $10 billion in annual product revenue by 2029. That's about a 20x from what they're doing right now. Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Chewy earned 9 cents per share for its last quarter compared to a forecast for a 3 cents per share loss. So they did better than expected there. Dave & Buster's reported profit, 40 cents per share. They predicted a loss. Let's look at Dave & Buster's. How is their stock doing this morning? Yeah, okay, Dave & Buster's is up 7.9%. 8% now. Well, that's because they killed it on earnings. They said they did way better. They were predicting a loss of and they had a pretty solid profit. Ha. AJ. I see you in the comments. Yeah, I know they don't notify people. So if you guys are new here, make sure every morning at 9 a.m. you do join us because they don't send out notifications for these really ever. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. So we had that event last night that we were live for. Let's take a look at the stock. Tesla. That's not Tesla. Where's Tesla? Down 0.7%. People seemed excited about the Tesla event last night. So that's a little surprising that we are seeing it down. I mean, I thought the event was a bit awkward. I thought it could have been better. But from everyone I was talking to in the chat, everyone seemed to really enjoy the event. Probably just going to see another day, pretty steady, pretty stable. Another consolidation day for AMC, for GameStop. Clover Health, BlackBerry, Bed Bath & Beyond, all these are just basically pretty flat. Pretty flat. But yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll check back in a bit later. I'm going to get a couple videos posted. And I'll see you guys in a bit. But that's what we're going to cover today. YouTube didn't send out any notifications, so I'd rather just get some videos out so we could actually reach more people with the information. I'll just post the videos instead of going live. But make sure to join us every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Every single morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you guys a bit later.